Thought about my accent.
Hey, everybody.
Thought about my accent.
Hey, everybody. But it's not.
Thought about my accent.
Hey, everybody.
No.
Wait, I gotta mute my
Thought about my accent.
disaster. Everybody. Okay, sorry, I fixed it. I forgot I had Twitch unmuted, but we're all good now.
Okay.
And again.
So yeah, if you're watching, you'll notice that this is not D&D. Which, if you're
No.
following us on Twitter, you already knew that it was not going to be D&D. But we have something different to fill the time while Johnny is prepping D&D adventures for us. So we'll be doing this today and probably Sunday as well, if everybody's in for it, and then we may do it here and there in between D&D sessions as we have time. So this is Blades in the Dark, and we don't have a campaign name yet because we haven't actually made characters or anything. So that's what we're doing. First of all, yeah, so we're going to make some characters. We're going to make a crew for these guys, and then maybe, if we have time, get to their first scope. So if you don't know anything about Blades in the Dark, it is it's similar to kind of the Powered by the Apocalypse game, so Apocalypse World, Dungeon World, some of those other ones. It's a little more free-form roleplay. It's got a very simple system, much simpler than D&D as far as dice system and combat and all that stuff. And it's all about the narrative and driving the narrative and using dice rolls to change the narrative. Not that D&D isn't, it is, but this one is a pared-down version of that, sort of. And it's about a bunch of criminals who have a crew in the city, Duskwall or Duskwall. And what's going on in this city basically is that it was once a fantasy land and then had an apocalypse where the sun exploded. And there are shards of it still around in the world. But there are also the way that these people survive is by electricity that runs on demon ghost blood. And it powers the lightning barrier that's around this city that keeps most of the evil ghosts out from the Deathlands. There are ghosts in the city. It's haunted. It's a dark place. It's usually foggy, rainy, cold. It's all dark-ish. There's not really daytime in Duskwall at all. And there's a bunch of different districts of the city. There's a bunch of different criminal crews that are all trying to make their mark, survive in this post-apocalyptic world that is also very kind of Industrial Revolution / Victorian. It's similar to our world in that time period, so early to mid 19th century in terms of technology. But there's additional science and arcane stuff and occult things that are based on all this ghost activity. So it's supernatural still. It's not quite realistic. Don't expect real science.
No, not from what I've read.
Nope. It's still a fantasy world. It's just a little bit of a different fantasy world than D&D. It's a gritty, dark, grimy city instead of beautiful Underdark.
MLS. Or Underdark, yeah.
I was going to say, wait, what is your contrast here?
So that's what we're doing. So this is a little something different. So
yeah, feel free to write to us and give us suggestions as we go.
Yeah, chime in.
Ask questions, because we probably need to answer them too and don't know the answer yet, so that'll be good to look up.
Yeah.
Josh is the only one who has any idea.
And I don't have much of one.
What's really going on.
I've been reading it. I love rules.
The thing to remember is that most of us don't know what's going on here.
And you can't do it wrong if you don't know what you're doing, and nobody knows what you're doing, so that's good. Yep. Right.
So the first, make some characters. These are the unwanted, the forgotten, the people who fill the workhouses and Leviathan hunter ships, which the Leviathans are these demons that are out deep in the void sea. Scavengers. The power structures of this world are designed to chew these people up and spit them out, make the rich richer, make the powerful more powerful.
Which doesn't happen in real life, so that's good fantasy.
Yeah. And leave all these people, leave you broken and with nothing. You are the dregs of this city.
Power, you write this book.
You're disposable nobodies. But you will not be victims. You will show them who you really are, and they will know your name. So this is Darren. And one of the best pieces of advice I think they have in the book, which applies to the characters built, but one of the friends of the guy who wrote this game said, play your character like you're driving a stolen car. So bad things are going to happen, but you might as well push it to the limit.
Yep. What'll happen will happen.
There we go.
Do you want to give a brief overview of each
I'm
of
going to
the...
put that on.
Oh, say what, Johnny?
Nothing. Go ahead. I'm going to tape that to the top of my right here at the top and just play this like you're driving a stolen car. That's just gonna
Or
every time I think about something to do,
carriage.
I'm gonna look at that and
Yep.
Play it like you're
the stolen carriage. That's right.
Yeah,
That's
right.
All right.
Stolen horse-drawn carriage.
Got
So,
it.
But yeah, do you want to give us an overview of each of the playbooks?
Yep. So there are 7 playbooks to choose from. So these guys will be choosing one of these playbooks to kind of start defining who their character is. And the idea of this is just to get a sketch of who you are. We'll learn more about you as we play. But you have a basic type that you start off as. So we've got the cutter. Cutters are good at winning fights with violence, with intimidation. If you want to get your way by shoving people around, cutters for you. Hounds are good at tracking things down, good at long distance combat. If you want to choose your battles and pick how you engage, that's the hound. Leeches are good at alchemy and wrecking stuff with sabotage. If you want to be creative with weird tools, that's the leech. Lurks are good at sneaking around and breaking into places. If you want to sneak around in the shadows, lurks are good. Slides are good at social situations, subterfuge, if you want to manipulate and deceive people. That's who you should go for. Spiders are good at masterminding maneuvers. If you want to assist teammates and deal with other factions that exist in DOSFall, Spider is good. And then Whispers are good at magical stuff and dealing with ghosts. So if you want to meddle with the arcane powers that exist in this world, then Whispers are the ones who do that. And then, of course, when you get the playbook, you're choosing a set of special abilities and XP triggers. So you're choosing the things that your character can do and what's going to determine how you advance that character. But these are all scoundrels. Nobody is necessarily the fighter, the wizard. Everybody can do all that stuff. You're all scoundrels. You're all street toughs. You're used to, being in close and stabbing people in the gut or whatever you do. So just because you're not a fighter doesn't mean you can't do that. It just means you have other things that you do that are slightly different. Yeah. So the first thing you guys got to do is pick what you want to do, and Johnny's got some ideas.
Yeah, so Johnny, what you said you were thinking about
narrowed it down.
What did you narrow it down to?
I put it in the chat. I said hound, lurk, slide, maybe, or the whisper.
Got it. Yeah, I'm thinking, I think it was leech, spider, whisper. They all sound cool, but if I had to narrow it down, I would narrow it down to those 3.
And it's okay if we have more than one. If we have 2 whispers, that's fine.
I mean, we're already playing an all rogue party. We could all play the same rogue. Just play a party of whispers. We just go around messing with ghosts.
Wow. Summoning ghosts, and we're all afraid of each other's ghosts, but not our own.
Right. Yeah, it'd be great.
Sending ghosts after each other, mess with each other.
Those would be mine. Leech, lurk, slide, or whisper.
Oh, good. It sounds like we'll have a whisper. I was hoping somebody's gonna. Yeah, I think somebody should be able to deal with the ghosts.
Everybody should be able to call up ghosts, which is why I would want to be a whisper.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, and they talk about it, like anybody can. So just having the attune skill allows you. Say again.
Or at least you can attempt to.
You can attempt to. A whisper is just better at it.
Yep. Yeah, and whispers can do more advanced things.
Right, because they've got their special abilities.
everyone's aware that there are ghosts. Everyone's aware of the arcane. Some people want to deny it or think it's unnatural. Some people think it's cool. But everybody knows. It's just a matter of whether you have the ability to do more with that or not. So yeah.
Mike, where you at? You want to be the Whisper?
I have no idea. I think the Whisper would be cool. The Leech.
Slide's cool too. Just rereading it. I mean, they're all cool.
Yeah.
And the Lurk. Yeah, like I said, I like all of them. If I was forced to narrow it down.
Mm-hmm. Do you, Johnny or Soup, do you have anyone that you're particularly fond of?
I think I'm thinking to myself, I feel like the Spider would be a different kind of challenge for me playing the Mastermind. I don't usually play the Mastermind. So I find that an interesting challenge as far as
I was afraid to play the
I feel like you have to know the game a little bit, and that's part of why I'm, like if you've been reading, you might be the best
I've been
person for that. Like you actually know,
Super Spider.
I don't know. I mean, let's see how other people fall. I like filling in. So whatever people
I'm
don't
happy
want.
to fill in too. Johnny, do you have a way you want to?
Not really. I mean, I like any. I mean, I've read them all now.
Every time I read it, I go, no,
I was tempted just to roll a die and see where it landed.
I was counting up 7 options on a D8.
There you go. Yeah, roll a D8.
Well, I was gonna do the 4 that I'd selected and roll a D4.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah, but there's 3 I'm not gonna play. So
there you go.
It does have a D7. Weird.
It does. All you got to do is type it.
What does that die look like?
I don't like that.
It's the digital world. It doesn't have to look like anything.
1, 2, 3. I'm a Lurk.
There you go. You're a Lurk.
Yep.
Okay.
You're lurking.
Sneaky.
All right.
Johnny, you want to roll your D4?
So if he's taking lurk, that means I'm down to D3.
Yeah. Well, you could lurk too, but
yeah, we can.
I'd like to. I think we should play.
It's
all
fun
the
to see
different
other
things
characters.
before
Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I wish we could play like 6 characters.
I rolled a 2, so that's the.
You're the Lurk.
Oh, I can testify.
No, that's the slide.
No.
Or whatever.
It's the.
No,
I'm
is that
not
the first
lurking.
2?
Oh, because you were doing
sliding.
a D6. Were you doing a D6 and then?
Oh, it came up as a 2, so that would be a 1. So that would be the Hound then, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which really you're kind of leaning towards, anyways.
Yeah. Although it's sort of like the slide as I was reading it more, but
Be the slide.
On that.
You don't have to let fate decide.
But if Drew wants to play the slide, Drew can play the slide.
No, I mean somebody's got to play the Whisper. Somebody's got to play, the Leech. If Soup's going Spider, I'll have to just be a multi-class.
Whisper Leech. Yeah, multi-class. Leech Whisper. I mean, you can. So, once you pick special abilities, there's veteran abilities that allow you to pull from other playbooks. Yeah.
Yeah, you can, one of your advances, you can decide to buy things from another playbook.
Yeah.
So
yes.
Johnny, have you made a decision?
So I'm going to play the Hound unless nobody picks the slide, and then I'm probably going to go to the slide unless I go back to the Hound.
All right, but it's narrowed, so at least we know it's
Clears it up.
All right.
Right, it's narrowed. It's very narrowed. I'm going to go read them both right now again.
Which one do you lean more towards, Leech or Whisper?
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Because they both sound fun.
Yeah, and I think it'd be good to have both. It'd be good to have somebody who could do the tinkering and somebody who could do the ghosting. So I'd be happy to take one and you take the other. Because they're both who I was thinking of as well. Like the Spider was a maybe. You want to D2 it?
Yes. What is that?
A D2 it. So Leech is
D4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
There you go. You're a Leech.
You can do whatever D you want.
That's right. Yeah, you can do whatever.
That was a coin, right?
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah.
1D13.
So I'm a Leech and you're going Whisper. You okay with that?
Yeah.
All right.
There you go. I rolled a 1d13 and got a 3.
Excellent.
Because it's digital.
Do whatever you want.
All right.
So
I'm excited to be a whisper.
So Soup's the Whisper, Drew's a Leech,
So
Mike's
you're not playing.
and Johnny is a Hound or a Slide.
So you're not playing the spider, Sue?
No. I mean, when this character dies, I can just play the spider.
Johnny might also be the Spider.
No, I won't be the spider. I don't think I'm devious enough. Hold on.
Coin.
Sure, I will be the. I'll be the hound. I rolled it. I'll play the hound first.
All right. We got a alert, a leech, whisper, and a hound. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, actually, I'm going to pull up one of these sheets so that people who are watching can see what we're doing. Let's look. What's Patrick O'Shea?
Patrick O'Shea.
So you've got your. So you guys see where to put the plate name in. All right. So you got that. Heritage is the next thing that we do. So, just a quick rundown of the places you can be from, and up to you what you want to do here. Doesn't matter. All of them work. So, Akros is the largest and most industrialized land in the Imperium. It's home to the capital city as well as Duskwall, so Duskwall is in Akros. It's a diverse conglomeration of cultures that's been in close proximity for centuries, so similar to Europe. If you want to be a rootless wanderer, you could be from the Dagger Isles. So people there usually grow up on ships, they travel a lot before they settle down, they're known as corsairs, merchants, and somehow they live without lightning barriers and deal with spirits in another way. So that's Dagger Isles. If you want to be from a culture considered foreign by the locals, you could be from Eruvia, which is a rich and powerful desert kingdom far to the south. It's another diverse land of varying cultures, similar to all worlds, old Persia, Egypt, India, that kind of area. If you want to be from a place considered wild by the rest of the empire, you could be from Severos. So outside of the few imperial settlements there, most Severosi live in nomadic horse tribes scattered across the Deathlands, and they survive within the ruins of ancient arcane fortresses which still somehow repel spirits. If you want to be from a marginalized people, you could be from Scotland, like Patrick O'Shea, the island kingdom just across the sea from Doskwell. It was the last brought under imperial rule over the course of the 36-year Unity War, which ended only a few years ago. Many Scotland are refugees who lost their homes and jobs in the destruction of that war have come to Doskwell seeking new opportunities. And they're similar to sort of the northern British Isles and Scandinavia-ish, could be. If you want to be weird, you can be from Tycheros. It's a semi-mythical place far away beyond the northern Void Sea. People say that people from Tycheros are part demon. If you choose that heritage, you'll create a demonic telltale, like shark eyes, feathers instead of hair, something weird like that.
Tail and horn, they call you tiefling.
So think about where you want to be from. And then the other part of that will be putting a detail in about where you're from. So, for example, if you were Scotland, you might write factory worker from Lockport, now refugees, or now a refugee. If you write Eruvian, which is the desert kingdom, it might be exiled nobility. So some kind of detail that goes along with where you want to be from. And it can be simple. And that's
Can we just be from? Can we be from Duskwell?
Yeah, you can. So if you're from Duskwall, you're from Akaros.
Oh, Akros. Okay.
Yeah, Duskwall is.
Okay. I
You
see.
can be from Duskwall itself rather than somewhere else in Akaros.
Looks like we're in D&D or something.
Oh yeah, our category is Dungeons and Dragons.
Oops.
I see that. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's probably a way to change that I don't.
What's that?
Oh, we had a comment in Twitch that we're on. That our category is D&D, which is not what this is. We normally play D&D. We've played D&D up until just now, and this is our first foray to something else, which is not D&D.
Oh.
Yeah. While Johnny writes some more story.
It's us.
Thanks, Shadzar.
It's the same people. But yeah, we'll have to look at. We don't know anything about how to do Twitch either.
All of this.
We know how to do one thing on Twitch.
It's all new.
I had a stream to it. And I can
Not long
type
ago, we just sat around a table and played games.
That's right.
in the chat. And that's about it. So yeah, I'll have to.
Man, you're kind of old, y'all.
All this technology.
So our leech is going to be from Akaros, and I feel like
Yeah, I'm gonna be from Akros too.
Same.
Yeah, was there so leeches? I still don't have a ton of obviously you need to be trained by somebody. This isn't just innate ability. Are there
Have you figured it out?
yeah, I mean, is it usually an apprenticeship, or is there a school or something that would have led to this type of skill?
It could be, and that's actually the next. And some of the choice for background, there's academic, so you could have gone to Dogwall Academy and learned there, or one of the other schools, which I put the schools in the academia section of the notes. So that is where in lore academia. You've got Duskwall Academy, which is more. Yeah, they don't. So they do have the College of Naval Command does have alchemy as a subject. You've also got Charter Hall University, which you could definitely learn things there. They have some of the weirder stuff. So they've got the Moreland Hall of Unnatural Philosophy. So they've got spectral philosophy, modern metaphysics, ethics, and demonology. So maybe there's alchemy within that as well. There's also trade. So merchants, craftspeople, things like that. So maybe you started off as a trade person who mixed up basic things and then experimented a little more and maybe learned from some other people in the trade. And but yeah, or there are other ways that you can come by that information. Not so understandable.
I feel like our leech was it's kind of a Breaking Bad situation, right? He learned the skills, and then life was just too terrible as it was, and he realized that he could do better, maybe otherwise. So he went to school and realized his talents were being wasted. Something like that.
Had to do something else.
Yep.
Let's see. Oh.
So we're choosing the background now. Is that what we're doing?
Heritage, and I kind of got a little bit background.
Because they can kind of go together. So I'm from Skovlin. I'm an academic from Blackvale. Thinking that this Patrick O'Shea, is a minor academic there. It's I'm assuming in Blackvale the studies there aren't as vast as they are here. So made his way here to study. With the bigger academy here, but also realized how much more there is to see about the ghosts in Duskfall. and got more curious about that and started finding his way in the underbelly of the city rather than actually in the academy.
Good. So he's a fine, upstanding gentleman.
He is a fine, upstanding gentleman.
Yeah. So backgrounds, if you want to start thinking about that. So there's academics. So this is scholar, professors, students from Gospel Academy or Charter Hall. Could be a philosopher, could be a journalist, but something in the academia realm. There's labor. So this is servants, factory workers, coach drivers, dock workers, sailors, rail jacks. Something to that effect. Law, so you could be an advocate or barrister, a blue coat or former blue coat, or an inspector, or maybe a spirit warden, maybe a prison guard from Iron Hook. Trade, so you could be a shopkeeper, a merchant, a craftsperson, a shipping agent, something like that. Military, so you can be an imperial or Scotlander soldier, a mercenary, intelligence operative, strategist, training instructor, something military related. Noble, so a dilettante, a courtier, the scion of a fallen house, somebody from the nobility, or underworld. So you've always been a street urchin, a gang member, some kind of thug for one of the other gangs in town, or some kind of outcast for whatever reason who grew up on the streets. So that's background. And then once you have those figured out, we'll start putting some dots on this thing and figuring out what you can do.
Where would Bounty Hunter fall? Does that exist in Blades in the Dark?
Sure. Yeah.
Isn't that like a crew option, basically?
There's something like it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's assassins, kind of like a bounty hunter that doesn't bring in a bounty alive.
I guess it would sort of depend on what kind of bounty hunter you want to be. I would say law if you're somebody who works closely with the blue coats and the inspectors and who has a good standing.
Nah, I was thinking the other way. More of like an underworld bounty hunter.
You could be like the guy who's out on the street dragging people in.
And that there is an underworld background.
Yeah.
Okay, then I was assuming that was, but I just want to make sure it's like within the bounds of. Okay. Yeah. There we go.
Definitely works. All right, so we got our underworld bounty hunter hound and our academic Scovlin whisper.
Yeah, my background will be the craftsperson from trade. So kind of was working there and then found my way into the underworld. I assume we're all in the underworld now, right? That's kind of.
Yep.
All right.
Yep. We're about to start a crew.
Johnny's just been there for life. We've been here just more recently.
We just showed up. Yeah, we're like, yeah, this place is great. He's like, no, this is horrible. What are you talking about? Why are you here?
I mean,
it's very interesting.
I'm from here. I know it's horrible. I just finally gave up on trying.
Now Johnny knows how this.
Yep, I'm sure I work for one of them. I'll read some more of that somewhere. There's a tab that says the underworld. Let's read that one.
It's very nice.
It's a good. Remember.
What are you thinking, Mike?
Military.
Okay.
I don't know. Can you guys read if I write stuff into my
Your scoundrel?
bio and info section?
We're not seeing each other, I don't think.
No, we only see ourselves.
I bet that's something that I need to do. Oh, I'm sure there's a way to do that.
Yeah.
It might be within.
Pain in the butt.
It might be within the character sheet.
That's true. Make it visible to ...
Let's see. Edit. Can be.
Yeah, it's usually under that edit tab.
Bio and info. I can put stuff in here. Wait a minute.
Are we choosing vices too?
If you guys look
Is
at
that a?
if you look at Soof's bio, what do you see?
We don't even see Soof.
You don't even see. Oh, you don't even see him.
Nope.
No, we don't see each other.
Let's see now, do you see Soof?
Nope.
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 Okay, wait a minute. What if I did this? Now can you see him?
Yep.
Can you see
Yeah.
all? Can you see,
Hi.
Patrick O'Shea.
And I can't edit him.
can you see all this
I-
stuff?
No,
says-
just,
Oh, just as by
It says, hi, I am Patrick.
I put that in there.
Or hi, I am Patrick.
I can get rid of that. Okay, so I need.
Oh.
Cool. All right, let me just do that for everybody then. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah,
but all we're gonna get is bio and info. We're not gonna
Right.
get character sheets.
which is okay. I mean, at least we
so we
all
just
have
need to
each
put-
other's names to see. And
Yeah. Need to put a little info in there.
hey, Mike Scoundrel.
Let's see, Johnny and Drew. Okay, cool. Now everybody should have everybody. I did it. Maybe.
You did it.
Hey.
Did a thing.
Yeah, we will get to Vice, but first,
So,
if everybody's good on their background, then we'll do action dots. So, your playbook should have the 3 already in there under Insight,
Mhm.
Prowess, Resolve. So it gave you 2 and 1 and 1 and another, probably.
Mhm.
That's for everybody. So, so these are your actions. So within each category, you have the actions that you can do. So Insight, Prowess, and Resolve are the 3 kind of big categories, and then within that, there's the actions. So you're going to get 4 action dots. So you're going to put, the idea is put 1 in something that you feel reflects your character's heritage, so what you chose for where you're from. 1 that you feel reflects your background, and then 2 wherever you want. But the highest they can go right now is 2. So 2 is the max dots for anything. And then the way this works is if you're looking at Insight as a total, then you're taking everything that's in that left column. So this, this builds from left out. So if you had 1 dot in study and 1 dot in survey, your Insight would be 2. If you had 1 dot in everything, your Insight would be 4. If you had 2 dots in everything, your Insight's still 4, because it's just that first column. So
Gotcha.
Insight, Prowess, Resolve have a rating from 1 to 4, and then all the actions have a rating also from 1 to 4. But they can only go to 2 for now until your crew and character advance.
And something that I'd recommend. So one of the things that we can do is when Josh is like, "Hey, bad things happen," we can resist it, and that resistance comes from either Insight, Prowess, or Resolve. So each of us, I think, right now has one that's empty. So like right now, my Prowess has no dots, which means that if I tried to, resist with Prowess, I'd roll 2d6 and take the worst. So I'd roll 2d6 with disadvantage, and that would determine how much stress I take, which is kind of like our damage, our mental damage. So it's probably a good idea to make sure you got 1 dot, in
each category,
just so that you got something.
And generally what those do is Insight is you're trying to resist something that's either deceiving you or that you're unaware of, or something related to being aware of what's going on. Prowess is resisting like physical harm. So, if you fall out a window or get hit by somebody or whatever happens to you. And then Resolve is like willpower based. Like you're trying to overcome something through sheer force of will, or like mental toughness. So that's kind of what those are.
Okay, and then the sub, would you mind, like, I don't know, hunt is tracking somebody?
So if you put your cursor over each skill, it'll actually give you a little box about telling
there
you what
you
each
go.
does.
All right,
Good
that helps.
call.
Yeah, Tune is basically opening your mind to the ghost field or channeling electroplasmic energy. Command is compelling obedience, intimidating, threatening, something like that. Consort is socializing, so you're trying to get people to do stuff through being charming. Finesse is like dexterous manipulation or subtle misdirection. So this is like pickpocketing or dueling. Hunt is trying to track something, a person, a place, a thing, a target of some kind. Arranging an ambush, trying to shoot from far away. Prowl is sneaking, traveling quietly. Skirmish is like up close melee fighting, so brawling, wrestling, punching, hacking and slashing with a weapon. Study is scrutinizing details, interpreting evidence, gathering information, things like that. Survey is observation, so checking out the situation, anticipating outcomes, looking for signs of danger, looking for weaknesses, things like that. Sway, convincing somebody through charm, through argument, through guile, but it's persuasion. And then tinker is with devices and mechanisms, building things, hotwiring things, picking locks, cracking safes, disabling alarms, traps. Wreck is destroying things, so just using force to just smash the wall, blowing something up with an explosive.
Sabotage,
things like that. So
we get to add 4 dots to the dots that are already there, right?
Yes,
and from boosting our insight, prowess, resolve, it's probably best not to go second column yet, right? Like,
yeah. I mean, so like if you just want to be better at something, go for it.
You can, but
you'll have 1 dot. So I mean, it's not bad because I mean, what it ends up being is you say I resist that, and then you take stress equal to 6 minus whatever you roll. So you'd be rolling a d6. At most, you're taking 5.
But rolling 2 6s, it's just like advantage,
better,
right?
right?
Yeah,
Exactly. It's advantage.
Right. And if you resist something, you will resist it.
Right.
You will just take a penalty in stress to do.
She said it's stress. Okay.
And stress,
yeah.
stress you can pile up until you get to your maximum, and once that happens, you take.
You take what?
Trauma, which is listed there. So there's different things: cold, haunted, obsessed, paranoid, reckless. So that's something that permanently changes about your character that kind of puts you in a position for a little while. And then when you come back, you are changed. Stress otherwise normally goes away during downtime as you indulge your vices. So when you go do whatever vice you're interested in, that takes some of your stress away.
Right. But you can overindulge.
You can.
Of course. Cool. 4 dots.
4 dots. But yeah, what you said, Drew, is what I'm doing. So I'm spreading it out. So the only thing that I have 2 in is what I started in. But now I've got 2 for insight, 2 for prowess, 2 for resolve as far as like that first column.
Yeah.
Spread the defense a little bit.
Yeah, would a 3-2-1 be not the worst?
No.
All right, I'm going that way.
Yeah, because I mean, leaning towards something is just going to make you stronger in it.
Yeah.
I think it's just the idea of having 0 in any of them is probably a bad idea.
Okay.
I mean, stuff will happen. You'll resist it.
That's just like
You're just more likely to take more stress.
-1 on your whatever.
Yeah. No, it's just
wisdom
like
save or something like that. Whatever.
No, it's like rolling disadvantage on your wisdom save.
Yeah. All the better.
Yep.
Cool.
Everybody good with their dot?
Working on it.
As good as we can be.
The next thing, if you want to start looking at these, is your special ability. So you'll have 1 special ability to start with, and that's determined by your playbook. If you really can't decide, the advice it gives you is the first one on the list is a good default. But if something else really looks cool, go for it. There's no particular order to these. You can take whatever you want, whenever you want. There's no kind of hierarchy. So whatever you think looks cool. And if you have questions about any of them, let me know. But they're pretty self-explanatory. So some of them mention actions. Some
just one, right?
Yep, you get 1 to start with. Some of them might mention an action. Some of them might mention, things in the game. Some might mention like getting plus. So +1D is just you roll an extra die whenever you do that thing. +1 result level makes the effect of the thing that you do better. So there's different levels of results when you roll, in terms of the effect that you have with the thing that you're trying to do. So that makes the thing that you're trying to do better as long as you succeed. Which, I mean, actually, not even necessarily. Well, you'll see how that goes when we actually get to playing. But basically, when you do something, you do it a little bit better. And that might be a downtime thing. So, like, looking at Sooths, for example, one of the things he can get is strange methods. So when he invents or crafts a creation with arcane features, he gets a +1 result level on his roll. So if during the downtime, if he's trying to build some kind of gizmo that does something weird, it'll be a little better than somebody else might make it because he's got his own strange way of doing
Right,
it.
or it's got a better chance because I'm rolling an extra die, therefore I'm more likely to get a success or a critical success.
Strange methods is just 1 result level, so you don't get the
Oh,
extra.
I'm sorry, I was looking at something else. Yeah. Oh, never mind. Yeah.
Yeah, you get some.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
That's just a straight up better.
Just
I
like,
think I have a real weird one that I want to get, but just because it's weird.
What is it?
It's called Ghost Veil. You can shift partially into the ghost field
Oh, yes.
and become insubstantial.
Yep. No, there's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, in a matter of speaking, sure.
I can see that being very useful for a hound and everybody.
being able to just be a ghost for a little bit.
Yeah, why wouldn't you want to be closer to the ghosts?
Yeah, ghosts are nice.
Josh, what's the difference between alchemical and sparkcraft?
So Sparkcraft is sort of the electrical devices of this world. It's made on ghost blood, more or less. So some of the things you can do, Sparkcraft. So that's like what tinkerers do.
Mm-hmm. Make little machines and then alchemy is more chemical type stuff.
And there's
Yeah, and it notes a bunch of alchemicals under beyond items. It'll say alchemicals.
So for example, alchemical, there's devil root, which is a thing that it's made from the sap of the devil root plant, and if you consume it, it might just kill you. There's heart palm, which slows the heartbeat over several days and kills you. There's vitality potion, which accelerates your healing process.
And then kills you.
Yes.
And then Sparkcraft, for example, makes some things like flash bomb. So they have it's a flashbang grenade, more or less.
Yeah, sweet.
A black salt bomb, which keeps ghosts from entering or exiting a space. They can make like a line thrower, which is a steam-powered pressurized grappling hook launcher.
Always useful.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, they're gadgets, and
Yeah, I'll go gadgets. That sounds fun.
Yeah, potions.
Eventually, you can get both, right? I assume.
Yeah. As you gain experience in your playbook,
snag
once that
other-
builds up, right? You get to upgrade. You get to purchase another one.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Josh is frozen. Twitch is frozen.
Oh boy, Josh is back.
Yes, disconnected. So we went missing for a minute.
Oh yeah, he is.
There he is.
Am I back?
I've got Josh.
You and me. Uh-oh, come on, OBS. Wait, do you guys all have me? Not, maybe no. Uh-oh.
Oh, you're.
What's going on? Uh-oh. What's happening? Oh dear.
Okay.
Am I here? Can anybody see me?
I can see you.
You can see me. Can you hear me too? I guess so.
I can hear you. Yeah.
Do you see anybody else?
Soof cannot see or hear you.
Let me reconnect.
Danny cannot see or hear you.
I got everybody now.
Oh, I've got Josh. I've got Drew.
All right, we had a little internet.
Hiccup.
Yep, it's fine. Everything's fine.
Dog, you are so warm.
All right. So cool. What were we doing? We were
Picking special abilities and putting dots in places.
all right. Special abilities. And then let's see. The next thing after that is you'll have a list. So kind of on the sort of middle right of your playbook, there's a friends list. So you're gonna pick two people from here. So these are NPCs that your character knows. One of them you'll pick the up arrow. So that's somebody who has a close relationship with you. So this is a good friend, lover, family relation, etc. And you'll pick somebody else and do the down triangle. That's somebody who's a rival or enemy for you.
Now,
Oh, that's
Where did
till
you
we
say this
destroy
was?
them.
So this is under your attributes. On the right side of your character sheet, there's a little friends box.
Is mine the only one that says deadly friends?
Mine says strange friends. So yeah,
Mine
I think
says
we all
clever.
have different kinds of friends.
Good. Mine are deadly. Great.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll make sure I was in the right section.
What kind of friends do you have, Mike?
I have friends.
Just friends?
Yep.
Okay. Friendly friends.
Yeah.
What is a psychonaut?
Wait, up arrow is good and down arrow is bad?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Friend versus rival.
Psychonaut.
And a
Yeah.
physiker.
A physiker is like a doctor, basically, somebody who can heal through various means.
Physician.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
in
I was
this
gonna
world,
say.
physiker.
Physiker, yeah.
Psychonaut. What's a psychonaut?
So
Psychic.
are these like real people in the
Psychiatry?
game that we're going to meet,
These
or
are people that exist in
or
this
is
world.
it just random?
Nope, these are people that
We don't know anything about.
I know that Petra's an
We don't
asshole.
know anything about them.
Yeah, Skurlock's a bastard.
you will.
Who is?
So they might. I mean, I think in part. Skurlock, he's a vampire. He's a bastard. That's fine. It's fine that he's a vampire. But yeah, so I mean, these are things that I think we kind of flesh out as we play. Like we flesh out who these people are to us. I think they come up. It's like the friend comes up when you're trying to get help from your friends, and the rival can come up when bad things happen, and they can potentially be part of those bad things that happen. Or they might spur it. So it might be like Skurlock, my vampire foe, comes up at an inopportune time, or does something that I need to react to, so I have to convince you all that we need to react to it, whatever it might be. So
you said a vampire? What?
Yeah, it's a vampire.
You're
a vampires
or a foe?
A foe.
Oh,
Clearly,
fantastic!
Foe, yeah.
I'm glad we're on your team.
Well, and so vampires are different in this game. So yeah, it's a vampire. So as far as I know, vampires aren't like suck your blood vampire. Vampire in this game is a ghost that has spent so much time possessing a body that it is like pushed out the old spirit and has now taken over the body. So the body's immortal, held by this ghost through means and stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
They're vampires.
Yeah, those are vampires.
Yep.
And then demons are generally spirits. I don't remember what about difference between demon and ghost.
Demons can have physical form, and they have a great many different kinds of physical forms that they come.
Good. Well, that's why I chose the vampire as the enemy, because at least I know roughly what it is.
Cool. Now it's the fun part where you get to choose your vice. So you can. There's a vice and a purveyor. So this is the purveyor is the person you usually go to for this vice. You don't have to, but it's somebody you know who can provide that thing. You can make up your own if you want, but I also put the purveyors that are known around the city in the lore. So basically, one of these things is something that gives you, like I said, it helps you recover from stress and it gives you peace of mind in some way. So the choices are faith, which is you're dedicated to an unseen power, whether that's a forgotten god, an ancestor, whatever kind of unseen thing that is. Gambling is gambling, betting on games of chance, sporting events, what have you. Luxury, expensive, ostentatious displays. Obligation is a family, a cause, an organization, a charity, something that you dedicate yourself to. Pleasure, lovers, food, drink, drugs, art, theater, whatever makes you happy. Stupor, drugs, drinking to excess, getting beaten to a pulp and fighting fits, whatever gives you whatever gets you to that
better.
Whatever gets you to that oblivion that you crave, however you get there. And then weird is experimenting with strange essences, consorting with rogue spirits, observing bizarre rituals or taboos, things like that. Makes you happy.
Neat.
So yeah, you can, and you can choose also, this is a good place to choose a specific thing. So, if you choose gambling, it might be specifically Spog's dice game and Crow's Foot. You like throwing the dice. Luxury, it might be, fine art items, paintings. You like paintings of a certain kind. You buy them from this person. Super, it might be any one of the various drugs around. Or maybe you're part of this, underground fighting ring where you go get the snot beat out of you on a regular basis. So yeah, this is a good one to kind of figure out specifically what it is within that category and who you go to.
So, as I am Breaking Bad, I think my vice is my family, right?
Yeah.
And so the purveyor would be like a kid. Like maybe wife is dead and I have to spend time with my kid, or I have to pay the person that takes care of them or something.
So it could be, it doesn't necessarily have to be somebody that provides you a thing. And in this case, it could be that your obligation, that the purveyor is whoever you're taking care of, and the obligation is spending that time and resources taking care of that person or people.
Okay.
I'm going to start putting some other things in here in the chat too, so you can see, wait. Let's see if this copies. So there's some possible names.
Whoa.
Just throwing some things in chat for the last few details here. So names, family names. Aliases.
Do we have to use these, or are we good with making up our own?
Just throwing some in there in case you. So looks, man, woman, ambiguous, concealed, affable, athletic. So some like physical traits. You know, of course, feel free to make up your own.
Aliases are common in underworld folk.
Yeah, a lot of people have other names they go by or earn over the course of doing whatever it is they do.
Okay.
I hope somebody in this party wears an eel skin bodysuit. I don't know.
That would be you, Mike, right? Aren't you? What was your character? You're your playbook?
The lurk.
Yeah, that's the lurk.
That's not me.
Oh yeah, eelskin bodysuit.
Great for sneaking around.
Nope.
Like you're wearing nothing at all. That's...
Nope.
Don't lose anything to get snagged anywhere. It's
Yeah.
That.
Don't worry about the smell.
First of all, it wouldn't smell. Second of all, nope. I thought I went over that one already.
I don't know.
I guess I'll just have eelskin underwear on, but you guys won't know that.
Anyway. But yeah, so this is, kind of the last few things. So name, alias, if you have one, and you might have both. You might have one or the other. Any particular details that you want to go over, or that you want to include, and some of that might come along later, and that's fine. Getting to know all of you. So just to kind of go over some of the other things on the sheet so you guys know what you're looking at. So you got the stress and trauma tracker under your kind of biographical information. And so, you can just tick those up as you gain stress and tick them down as you relieve it in between. Harm and healing. So there are some kind of minor harm things that don't really have an effect on you, but, might be things like you're worn out, you're exhausted, up to like broken limbs, cut, scraped bruises, up to punctured lungs, broken legs, serious things that need help. If you go to 4, you're dead. So, and if you're at 3 harm, you might die from taking more harm, depending on. So and especially like if you already have major harm and you take more major, then probably gonna die. Healing is a clock. So this game has progress clocks, which I have a thing for. Dude, oh, where's my clock? Come on, clock. No, I want a token. Where'd you go?
I see something in the chat.
Yeah,
Clock like.
I had a token before. Where is it? But anyway, I'll have clocks like that that I can make a token for. Can I do? Wait a minute.
There's the token in the middle near Charter Hall.
Is it? I missed
between Brightstone and Charter Hall.
too much going on here. Oh yeah, there it is. Cool. Oh, there's a bunch of them.
There's
I got all sorts of tokens. It just took a second for him to catch up. But yeah, so I can make a token like this, and I can give it to you guys. So if you have things on your own character that you need to track, this is a way that track and all sorts of things. So downtime actions might be on a clock, and that sort of represents how close you're getting to completing whatever thing you're doing. So if you're investigating something, it might be a 4, 6, or 8 section clock that represents the steps of finding that information. There might be things with 0 clocks. If you're trying to create something brand new, like a gadget or a potion that doesn't exist yet, it might be like first researching what ingredients you would need to do that. It might be testing, and then it might be refining or something along those lines. So you have 3 different clocks you have to fill, and as you roll, you'll fill segments on it. So you can so yeah, we can fill it. Boop, boop. So like 2 sections of that clock are done. So I'll have those in play, and I can give you guys control of them if you need to track stuff, since a lot of that stuff happens within clocks. Other character things, so special abilities, fairly straightforward. Below that, XP. So you guys just got to keep track of when this stuff happens in game for playbook advancements. So every time you roll a desperate action, so that's when your position for the action is desperate to start with, which is something I'll tell you, you mark an XP in that action's attribute. So if you're trying to do a desperate attune, you'll mark an XP in attune's box. And then at the end of the session, everything below that, you mark an XP if that occurs. And so this is going to be kind of depending on your own character. So everybody's is going to look a little different. And that expresses kind of like who you are and what you're trying to do and how you get better at what you do. So just make sure you keep track of those. And it's got the teamwork stuff that you can do below there, which we'll get into how that works when it comes up, and what kind of things gathering information might do for you. And then on the right side of your sheet, which I'm going to this one a little bit so I can see all of it, you've got your items and load. So when you're going on a score, what you do is you're going to decide what load you would like to take for that score. Light, normal, or heavy. You don't decide what items you bring with you. The item things that you own. Your character has all those things available to them. When we get to a score, what you can do is you can say, oh, we can do, there's this flashback system, right? And oh yeah, and it also tells you anything in italics don't count for load. But what you can do is you can do a flashback and say, oh, there's this door that we need to unlock. Well, I brought my thing that unlocks doors, whatever it is, whether that's a tinkering tool or a demolition tool or lockpicks or a ghost key or whatever it is that unlocks the thing that you're trying to unlock. You can take some stress and go back and say, oh, I brought that with me just in case because I had a feeling there might be some locked doors in this place. So you don't ever have to decide what is in your load before we go on a score.
But if you do you not take stress?
Yeah, so if you bring stuff, if you say, okay, I'm taking three load, so light load, and I'm bringing these 3 things, and then you say, oh, I should have brought that thing.
Could you bring 3 load, but say you brought normal, so you have 2 extra spare slots, but you don't have to take stress on the first 3 sets of items?
So, sorry, say that again.
So could you say, like, I'm bringing a normal load, and I'm designating I'm bringing these 3 items, and I'm leaving the other 2
Yeah, you could
to
leave,
figure out
you could
later.
say, I've definitely got these things. I'm gonna.
And you won't take stress for those things. Just the stresses if you
Yeah, you won't take
have to
stress for-
retro.
Yep. Stress is only for flashback stuff, retroactive things that you fix later. Yep. So yeah, you'll see, and you can kind of see below that, it tells you choose a plan, provide the detail, choose your load limit, and then you go. And that tells you the plan. So basically when we get to a score, you guys will say, all right, we're doing an assault. This is how we're getting in there. All right, here we go. I'm taking light, what is it, light, normal, or heavy load, and we're going in. So that is that stuff. And then trying to keep you guys on screen. So you have your abilities, and then bonus die. So you can always, even if you don't have any dots in anything, you can always try to do it. And your choices are either roll 2 dice and take the lowest, or you can choose to push yourself for 2 stress or accept a devil's bargain, which you guys can propose something to me, or I can propose something to you about, you get to try this thing, but you also get this consequence of it. For 1 die, but you're not taking the low. And you can always also get, you can get help, so somebody can assist you to give you a die. So there are ways to get 2 dice with some drawbacks where you're not taking the low one. So you're never not able to do something. You can always do everything you want if, as long as you're willing to take the consequences for it.
And so like an assist, do you have to like physically be near, or could you do some sort of like, oh, he assisted me earlier? Like,
so there
and,
are, yeah, so there are different ways to do that. And I will, let's see. What? What did I do? Okay. So so what you can do is you're doing, I mean, there are different ways that you can assist somebody. So you're describing what you do to help. Basically, you take a stress and you give them an extra die. You might suffer consequences as well. But pretty open-ended in terms of how you assist them. It might be like, oh, I have this thing with me. I'm going to toss it over to you so you can use it. I'm going to distract the guard so you can get the drop on them. I'm going to, take that person out so you can run past. There's a lot of ways you can do it. So all you got to do is describe how your character's helping.
And if it's like a social situation, I mean, if you're there, you could be helping negotiate, or maybe this is someone you led them towards. Like you can't actually talk to them. Maybe they're your rival, but you led them towards it. So you gave them some information that would be helpful.
Yep.
And then describe that information. That's an assist flashback kind of thing, right?
Oh yeah, remember when I told you about that thing? Yeah, that's it.
All right. And so you would take the 1 stress so that they get the extra die.
All right, I'll be right back.
But then if something bad happens, so gotta decide how helpful you want to be.
I need an alias name. I need an alias name.
Yeah. It took me the entire time we've been talking here.
To get an alias.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got one.
I got one. I think I want to spell it differently.
So,
hey, what year are we in? Because I like this kind of stuff.
So we are in. We're in. It's in my thing. Oh, did it not make it? Uh-oh.
So 551 IE is the last.
I've discovered a problem with my history document.
Oh no.
Thank you.
I was about to say it's a pretty short history document. There's not a lot of history in this historical place.
Yeah, it's missing. It's missing a little bit. So let me get the rest of the.
All right.
I just figured maybe they had bad historians.
It's me being bad at
It might.
putting all the information in here. But it is 847 IE.
Okay.
Imperial era.
I'm about to put the rest of these years in here.
And the cataclysm happened in the year 0. So okay.
All right, let's see. 556, 809, 847. Cool. All right, I've updated the history to now show.
Longer.
Hey, there it is. The Unity Wars come to an end.
So 2 years ago is the end of the Unity War.
Oh, okay. I thought you said it was quite a lot longer ago than that.
So
I thought you said 6 years ago or something like that.
So it just ended 2 years ago when Scotland surrendered.
I'm always going to hear Scotland when you say that.
Yep. I think that's the idea.
I think that's what
Scotland.
That's
Like
why I went with Irish.
Yeah, and that's Scotland. Right.
All right. So now we need to make a crew.
So we're gonna need one more person for that.
But yeah, if you guys hit character mode, it'll switch you over to crew mode.
So I have a question. I have a text box that I cannot make disappear below where it says playbook. It says to generate playbook abilities, items, friends, enter the name of the playbook above. Oh, do I have to write I see?
Yeah, it took me 10 minutes to figure that out earlier.
Type in your playbook name.
I'm with you. I was over here going, what in the hell does this mean? And then I actually read it, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's what that means.
I did it on the gear. I had selected lurk, and I thought that that's what it was. But they don't make that look like a text box.
No.
They don't at all.
All right. Now you're officially a lurk.
I'm officially a dumbass. Wow.
That's not true. We all know it.
All right. Well, when the fourth member of our crew gets back, we'll make a crew.
Okay.
So
in this power structure of this world we're in, like, you know, we're just beginning as far as characters go. Are we pretty low level? Is that a good assumption? Okay.
you guys are.
I didn't know how it scaled. I didn't know how things scaled in this game.
Yeah, crews are on a tiered system. We are tier 0.
Donut.
You all right?
Yeah, we're the big fat donut.
Okay, so we're not.
This is not necessarily.
We might have a, and we're not. So we're not necessarily like well known then, because we're.
No, we will be. Though,
Okay. All right.
If
Well, that'll help.
to be.
That helps with the background ideas then.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and so for example, you've been looking at some of the, like if you look at some of the other groups that you kind of know about, so I put some factions in there.
Down in Crow's Foot.
Yeah.
Some of the
I was reading over those guys.
They're, just for sake of comparison, because tier is sort of this esoteric thing, right? It's a mechanic thing. They're tier 2, so they're
bigger.
more organized than you guys. You guys are
Yeah.
Sorry, who's tier 2?
like the blacks, crows, like those kind of groups. So they're not major powers in the city. They're mid-level powers. But you guys are not powers.
Yeah, we're snotlings comparatively.
And the idea is that
Well,
basically
they're 2 and we're 1. We're not that far behind.
No, we're 0. We start tier 0. There's a
we're
0.
0.
We're it.
so
That's
the idea
fine.
is,
But it's a 4-tier system.
Yeah.
So
and where we're at right now, the idea is that you guys basically just came together. You just pooled the last of your savings that could scrape together and pulled it together to get a basic hideout and kind of start a crew. So you guys are just starting out.
Okay.
So
So we're only 50% behind then. We're fine.
Yeah, we're fine. We're fine. Everything's fine.
We'll catch up to them in no time.
Yeah, I mean, the four of us versus how many of them will be fine.
Exactly.
Oh, we're fine.
You'll just shoot them all,
so
and then I'll talk to their ghosts.
so crew. So this determines the kind of scores you focus on, and the special abilities you get support that kind of thing. That doesn't matter. That's all you do, right? It's not restrictive. If you're smugglers, you might engage in extortion. You might sell contraband. But the thing that you do, that core activity, is how you make money and advance most often, or more often than you do the other things. So the 6 types are assassins. So you're killers for hire. You execute accidents, disappearances, murders, and ransoms. Bravos are mercenaries and thugs. You execute battles, extortion, sabotage, and smash and grab type operations. Cult, you are acolytes of a forgotten god. You execute artifact acquisitions, auguries, consecration, and sacrifices. Hawkers are vice dealers, so you execute product procurement, covert sales, shows, and social events. Shadows are thieves and spies. You execute burglaries, espionage, robberies, and sabotage. And smugglers are contraband transporters. You execute clandestine deliveries, territory control, and expeditions outside the city.
Okay.
Beyond the lightning barrier. So this is also kind of how you're known. So the people who do know of you in the underworld, the criminal factions, the blue coats, this is how they know of you. This is how they treat you. And this also is a way for you guys as a group to say, like, these are the kind of things that sound cool to us. These are the kind of things we want to do in the game, more often than not. So, kind of crew do we have?
Do you guys have anything you're particularly interested in?
I need to read those.
I think we are not the. I mean, maybe Johnny, you would be, but I don't think we're the fighter. Like,
No, and I
One.
wasn't thinking like I'm the bounty hunter idea was what I was thinking, but not like
Yeah.
I go kill people and bring them
straight
back.
up. Yeah, yeah.
Like I'm more of the I want to go catch them and bring them back,
Mhm.
alive if preferable. So I'm not like go kill everybody type thing. So yeah, I was definitely not thinking the assassin one at all.
Used to be dead.
uh,
Right, so probably not assassins.
probably not Bravos either then, right?
Bravos
That's mercenaries.
Grab thug guys. Yeah. So Cult, Hawker, Shadows, and Smugglers.
I don't think we're cult either, based on our kind
No.
of diverse background. I could see hawkers. I could see shadows. I could see smugglers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So basically, those last 3.
Agreed.
I think all 3 could be fun. Any thoughts?
Let's see what
See if you've got any.
Steve says when he gets back. Actually, that'll give me 1 second to.
And I gotta
Right
choose
back.
a new name because apparently Mike chose the same name.
Oh, dude.
Wait, what? What?
guys have
the same name?
What did you guys both pick?
He's Finn. I went Finn as well. So now I need to go back into this.
We could have Sergeant Finn and the other Finn.
Well, you guys aren't gonna know my real name.
There's 2 Finns.
That's private. This is for me.
Oh. Finn is my real name.
No, you guys aren't gonna know my real name.
Oh.
So he can be real Finn, and you can be pretend Finn.
And I can just kind of chuckle when he. Oh, is Finn your alias?
No, Sarge is my alias.
So, Sue, if we were talking crew types.
Sorry, one more minute.
All right, so we got Sergeant Finn and Mr. Finn.
No, I'm not going to be Mr. Finn. I have a different
That
name.
was my high school math teacher.
Mr. Finn.
Yep.
And one of my high school math teachers was Mr. Tenney, who liked to have equations result in number 10 with E as the variable. He got a big kick out of that.
Oh, that'd be really funny one time.
Yeah, it was funny every time. And he always said Shazam when he arrived at the answer to a problem.
Oh, good.
Shazam. Yeah. Oh, he's a funny guy.
The crew. Sorry.
So we were talking a little bit while you'd stepped away, and these guys kind of ruled out Assassins, Bravos, and Cult. Those didn't really fit. So
I kind of figured that'd be ruled out.
So we were down to Hawkers, Shadows, and Smugglers. Want to see if you had any thoughts about any of those.
I think I know. I lean more towards Shadows or Smugglers rather than.
Very cute.
I don't know that I want to be a drug lord, but if we want to be drug lords, I guess we could do that. I just might do other things within the drug lord ship. I mean, I know it doesn't have to be drugs. Like it's because you have all of those vices, and they're vice purveyors. But
That was me, babe. I did.
no, I was just throwing it. I don't know why. Those are my thoughts immediately.
So that would leave us with Shadows or Smugglers.
And actually, I'm fine with Hawkers. I just like on a more personal level, I don't think I want to play a drug dealer.
If it's the kind of thing you're not interested in, I think if somebody in the group is feeling kind of
That's great
about it, great.
But I mean, it could be. I mean, we could be purveyors of the weird. We could be purveyors of faith. We could be purveyors of the gambling, and I mean, there's plenty of other things that we could hawk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it doesn't have to be drugs.
I liked the Shadows.
Thieves, spies, and saboteurs.
Burglaries, espionage, robberies, sabotage. Those sound like fun things. Then Shadows.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah, we're gonna be
Works for me.
Shadows crew.
Yeah, I've had that up on my screen for a few minutes now. I'd stopped scrolling up and down. That's where apparently I went to.
All right.
I don't want the lightning barrier all the time.
That does sound fun too, though. I want.
That sounds like a mess, which is probably not what my character wants to do.
Oh, that sounds fantastic.
You can still do things at the lightning barrier.
Oh yeah. Well.
Yeah.
So can we have? So I see that our character sheets have this as a a tab or whatever. But is this sheet going to be the same for all of us?
So we can either do it one of two ways. Yeah, like this will stay the same for all of you. So we can either have one person be like the person who does all the crew sheet updating, or if you all want to keep up with it the same, then you would just make the same changes every time. You do those.
Yeah.
Could we get a fourth or a fifth character that we could just have be our crew sheet, and then we could all have control or access to or something like that?
Yeah.
We'll do that right now. Oops. Let's
I'm going to go here real quick.
Cool.
add a character. Cricket. I named it Cricket. What a weird thing to do. All right. So this is the crew tracker. All players. Let's see. All right, so you guys should see a sheet called Crew Tracker now.
Yes. I no longer see cricket.
So you are Shadows, Thieves, Spies, and Saboteurs.
So Josh, did you just do that on my
On
Character
Cricket?
sheet.
Because Cricket was Drew's character.
Oh, were you Cricket?
Yeah. Did you delete me?
Did I?
That's fine. I can remember it all pretty well.
No, you're a leech, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, let me name you not crew tracker. I thought
I don't know. That's a good name. That's a good name for a character, Crew Tracker.
This. Okay. No, nobody can control Drew except me and Drew. All right, Gus Camoose is your crew tracker. So edit Gus Camoose here. That's strange.
Does it auto-generate a name?
Yep. Its name is Gus Camoose.
Nice.
Oh, I wish that was my name now.
Oh, it can be.
Gus Camoose.
That's Camoose.
No, I'm good.
I'm gonna leave the crew tracker as Gus Camoose because
Yeah, why not?
That's our crew's name.
I mean, yeah, we do need a crew name.
are the Gus Camoose.
All right. So, yep, I see we're making changes to our crew.
Yeah, so I've updated it. It's shadows now.
Crew mode. All right. So we're shadows.
Dusk.
Start with 2 coin. So you guys have 2 coins in your coffers.
Ooh.
2 coins.
2
Those
coins.
are worth a lot because otherwise it wouldn't be very much money.
Who didn't chip in? We're all
No, this
bringing
is
coin.
a low wealth game. 2 coins is a lot.
So coin
copper.
represents it's an abstract measure of like cash plus assets. It's slang from the old imperial treasury, which had solid gold bank coins that each one was a major transaction's worth of money. And so, people would go around and flash a coin, and that was like, oh, look how wealthy I am. So now people use small silver pieces for currency. Slugs or scales are the common names for them. We don't track the silver pieces you use in your daily lives. If you toss a few silver to bribe somebody or do something, we'll figure it out. But that kind of stuff is negligible. We measure overall wealth in coin. So 2 coin is basically equal to a really fine weapon, a weekly income for a small business, a fine piece of art, or a set of luxury clothes. More than 4 coin is you don't want to keep that much laying around. So what you guys do is if you get past 4 coin, you're going to put some in you either spend the excess or you put it in your stash. And that's personal coin. Your crew, you can store 4 coin in your lair by default. So if you want to store more than that, you've got to get a vault to store it in. But you can use coins for various things, so you can get extra downtime activities. You can increase the result level of a downtime thing. Certain crew entanglements, you might want to avoid it. And then for your character, you can stash coin to improve your circumstances, improve your lifestyle, improve your retirement. So you're saving for your retirement fund. And you'll also spend it when you advance your crew's tier. So you'll spend some coin to level up, basically. But this represents like you 4 pooled your cash and some things that you had into this, and so this is what the group starts with. And you are tier 0, but that's fine. Because you're low level. It's all good. But you do have I just lost my spot. You have strong hold and 0 rep. But the next thing you need to pick is your initial reputation. We can worry about a name later, unless somebody has a brilliant idea for it. But
The Outcast.
I knew it was coming.
Spelled with a K.
But this is kind of how you're known as right now. So you have an initial reputation in the factions of the underworld. They've heard of you, and they've heard that you are either ambitious, brutal, daring, honorable, professional, savvy, subtle, or strange. And that's your initial rep. So.
Good. I need that one more time if you don't mind.
Yeah, and I'm trying to look at. Cause I know it's in the playbook you sent us.
So
The player book.
Ambitious, brutal, daring, honorable, professional, savvy, subtle, or strange. This is how they know of you right now. So what kind of shadows are you?
I mean, we could be honorable and professional shadows. Obviously, I have no problem being strange.
I'm fine with that. Daring sounds fun to me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daring, honorable, or professional.
Thoughts, Johnny?
Sleepy,
Oh,
you're
You're muted. Or I can't hear Johnny. I don't know if anybody else can.
Muted.
Uh-oh.
No.
Still muted.
No.
No sound.
Oh, sleepy. Oh, he's disappeared.
How about now?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep.
You know, I've been saying things for like the last 5 minutes, and
I was
now
wondering
know
why you're being so quiet.
Now I understand why. Like, weird.
Yeah.
So I was saying, at least on this thing we were talking about, that I'm not feeling the honorable vibe.
All right.
More daring.
Just based on the character I'm thinking about. I don't think I'm gonna fit that one real well.
Yeah, that's fair.
But daring, or even professional sounds pretty good.
I mean, I like daring. It's a good place to start.
Okay.
Gotta be daring when you're tier 0.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we got to get started somewhere.
We can get to professional, but
There we go.
I feel like professional is going to be a bad rep to start with when we totally clusterfuck our first.
Yeah.
First gig. These guys are reputation gone.
Yep.
Now they're daring.
All right. So Lair. So this is where you guys hang out. So you're tier 0. So it's modest, or maybe somewhere abandoned that you stumbled upon that works. So you can choose one of these, or you can create your own. But the ideas are a half-sunken grotto in the city's maze-like underground canals, an abandoned watchtower.
Done. No, keep going. Keep going.
Sorry, go ahead, keep going.
An abandoned watchtower atop an ancient crumbling wall, the unassuming back rooms of a merchant's shop, a small abandoned house at the end of a dark lane, a rickety tin roof shack perched on a rooftop, or a junked rail car rusted in place on its old overgrown tracks.
I mean, I like the first two.
Half-sunken grotto or abandoned watchtower. I mean,
I like the idea of being up on high.
I can roll the merchant shop too.
Yeah. Back of a merchant shop.
I don't know, but y'all are weirder than I am, so y'all
I
might,
have a
y'all
merchant.
might like the.
I have a merchant contact or whatever in my former, so that
Down bar or something like that.
would kind of make sense. But any of those sounded fun to me.
You know, a gambling lair wouldn't be so bad either.
For us. Like that's a real.
You're not going to
backside
get
of
any
the
work there, Luca or Sleepy. You're not going to get any work done.
I'm just saying.
We got to keep you
I know
on the job.
I know a place. I know a place over in Crow's. Right. I know a place over in Crow's Foot.
No.
We got a good game of Skog going.
Sorry. No. No tissues.
So
Tissues are not
a grotto is like an underground like lake or
Cave.
what?
Yeah.
Oh, just a cave. Does it imply
Yeah.
water? I feel like I've seen it with water before.
it can have water.
Okay, but it's not necessarily implied in the definition.
It's just a little small cave.
Yeah. I heard underground and underworld, which sounded good, but then I heard grotto, and that all of a sudden sounded less good.
And yeah, they're generally near water. Sometimes they might flood, depending on the tide. So, yeah, and they're usually, people usually choose them because they are at least natural. They can be natural or man-made, but, they were usually somewhat picturesque, so they could be a garden or something special could be done with them aside from just being an empty cave. But yeah, and yours is half sunken, so it's wet in there.
So I heard grotto
I'm less
and
excited
tower.
about that all of a sudden.
Yeah, the
Alright.
abandoned watchtower on top of some ancient wall is not as wet. It might still rain in there a little bit sometimes.
No, we can get some tarps. We'll be fine.
What is the problem with the rain?
We'll get wet.
Not all
It's
of
got
us
to be
have
worse.
real
It kills
thin
you.
feet.
I'm pretty sure it kills you.
Yeah, nothing. The rain doesn't do anything weird that you know of yet.
It's just the general wetness and getting sick.
It's just wet.
Oh,
You're wet and cold.
I like
We'll
the
get
tower.
wet.
the tower?
Yeah, the tower sounds
Ugh.
fun.
All right, let's do it.
I like the merchant shop.
That's good too. I need my stuff.
But I can go to your tower, hang out there for a little while, talk about our plan.
I'm going to take her on that one.
So, which district is your lair? It can be in the derelict area of a wealthy district, or it could be in one of the destitute areas. Crow's Foot is not a bad place to start, but it doesn't have
Crow's Foot.
Crow's Foot with all of the other gangs that we know of.
Yeah.
Immediately stepping on toes.
Night market.
Absolutely. That is
Yeah,
the goal.
I was looking at Night Market or Six Towers, looking at in the city.
And the other thing we're going to pick, so in terms of location, you're going to pick where your lair is, but you're also going to pick your hunting grounds, which doesn't necessarily have to be the same district as your lair. This is where you usually hit for scores, so it's another area of the city you know really well. It tends to be, it's controlled by another faction, so you got to be a little careful about what you do there. But it's a particularly good spot for the kinds of things that you do. The thing that will do for you is if you are doing a particular type of operation, so you're going to pick one of your preferred types out of the things that shadows do. So you're going to pick the thing you like to do the most out of burglary, espionage, robbery, sabotage, and you get +1 die to any gather information rolls and downtime activities that contribute to a job that you do of that type on your hunting ground. And that sort of is a way of showing that it's a little better for that kind of stuff than other places.
Like, since we're daring, our hunting ground has to be in the wealthy areas, right?
Or market. Market is where the wealth goes to actually shop.
All right. Yeah, that would be mine. We can't hunt the poor. That's not daring
Yeah,
enough.
no, that's not daring. I would say, because looking at Six Towers, it looks like Six Towers is a little bit of a safer place for us, but it has like decent wealth, decent criminal influence, decent occult. So like it's a good place to set up shop. And then, we can make our hunting grounds wherever we want. But I know some of the wealthier places, like they give you disadvantages for trying to do things. Right. Like White Crown is not good because there's lots of blue.
Charter Hall doesn't seem all that great to go hunting either.
What about
What's that, Mike?
Night market? That has 3 dots on security and safety, though.
Right, so that might be a little more challenging to. Right, and
that's what we do. We're daring.
Where our lair is. That's true. Daring from the beginning. All right, then let's just go for White Crown. White Crown's our hunting ground.
We're daring.
Yeah, and
What
we're
is White Crown?
short-lived.
So that one
White
is
Crown?
yeah. Your engagement rolls in White Crown are -2 dice because there's blue coat patrols everywhere.
Yeah, that's
No.
bad. That's bad.
No, not rolling with that.
You could pick up a lot of heat in White Crown hitting the nobles.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's not my scene.
Good.
no.
I hit the other.
Takes, man.
I hit the other end.
So Brightstone is similar. It's -1 die because there's blue coat patrols, but that's another kind of wealthy part of the city. One of the other places that is wealthy but is easier to hit stuff at is Charter Hall. So that's artisans, commerce, civic hub, that kind of thing. It's less well patrolled, and
That's a good.
but it's still 4 dots.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to hit the wealthy more often,
And which one was that?
that was Charter Hall.
Charter Hall.
Charter Hall.
Charter Hall.
That sounds like a good place to start.
Work our way up Brightstone and then White Crown someday.
Yeah,
Sounds good.
that's what we're doing. Yeah.
Charter Hall for
Sure.
With our third or fourth characters.
What's our? What did we decide? Wait, what did we decide was our lair? Did we?
No.
So what
6 Towers was thrown out.
what specialty do you want to do in Charter Hall? Burglary, espionage, robbery, or sabotage? So one of those is going to be your thing that's a little easier to do and make money out there.
Wait, what? Oh, man.
And they all sound great to me.
I mean,
I mean,
okay.
they're all good. You do them all.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Burglary, I would trend toward.
Yeah.
What were the two?
What'd you say?
Espionage and burglary.
what's your crew best at? Or what do you prefer to do in Charter
I don't know, but we're going to need to be really good at it. I was just looking at security and safety in Charter Hall.
Yeah, me too.
Don't worry about it. We're daring.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, the 4 dots. Yeah.
4 dots. 4 dots of wealth, 4 dots of security and safety.
It's fine.
No, it's not fine.
I was looking at for Charter Hall, if we're actually gonna have that as our hunting grounds, then espionage might be the best way to go.
Espionage.
Yeah.
What are we spying on exactly?
Records are kept there.
That is true.
It's an
All right.
information-rich area.
And we're trading that for something.
Monies.
Yeah. I mean,
All right.
one of the things like the other
Cool.
gangs and things around town. That's useful.
Let's do it.
All right. I'll have my next character ready.
Espionage. Yeah,
There's this
we all will.
Yeah. Wipe on the first game. This will be good.
Yeah, we might.
Yeah.
We don't have to go there on our first game. We can do one around.
That's true. I mean, it's our
nearby.
hunting ground. Like that's just favored, but that doesn't mean we have to start there. But I feel like we should. Like if we're gonna go, let's do it.
We're daring.
Right. Let's just go in.
So our walled tower is where we hang out, where we meet to form our plans.
Yeah, our ancient.
Where are there walled towers or towered walls?
I mean,
Throughout
anywhere.
What about? I just read it. Coleridge.
Coleridge is poor.
Then Crow's Foot it is then.
It's right next to Charter Hall.
I'm just saying, if we're gonna go poor, let's just go to the Crow's Foot. I know some people.
I think Dunslow is poorer.
Yeah, because Dunslow is where the prison is. So at least we won't have to go far if we get caught.
Yeah, I don't, there's not a lot to do over there.
No. Crowsfoot is a nice central base of operations.
Well, yeah, and that's why I think all those other gangs are there.
Yeah,
Right.
Nowhere there.
Right, but I have a plan for that.
Okay,
For that.
we're gonna shoot them all.
Just kill
Well,
them.
that's an end game. We'll get there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But any of those places around Charter, let's just pick one and start.
All right.
Because it's our lair, does that mean we're there all the time, or does that mean we're like, hey, we're going to meet up here and talk tonight? But then when we're not doing scores, we're going to go where we hang out normally, which for me is going to be like,
Yeah.
I'm going to go find me a gambling ring somewhere and
Yeah.
spend the money I don't have. Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Then
Yeah, this
layer
is just
up.
where we meet up.
Yeah, it's what, and it kind of depends on what else we want out of it. Because like we can have crew quarters there, so
Okay.
that we have the security of our lair, but we don't have to. We can live in different places, but that is a little less secure as far as survivability. Once we start making more of a name for ourselves for people that don't like us,
Well, we'll relocate at that point. We'll be fine.
new lair.
Yeah.
So this is just a starter layer?
Yeah, I don't know. Can you have?
Starter lair. Yep.
Can you?
Layer
Yeah, I
number
guess you
one.
can
Don't
set
worry
up a
about
new
it. Don't
lair.
ask questions. No, we don't know that yet. Yeah. Of course we can have
Yeah,
a new layer. We're gonna
yeah.
be living in that big old mansion in White Crown pretty soon.
That's
Don't
right.
worry about it.
Yeah, we will be the
yeah.
governors.
Right. We'll get there.
You guys are
Guys
thinking
gonna
small.
be Crowsfoot or Charter or Coleridge?
I vote Coleridge.
For our lair. Fine with Coleridge.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's a relatively safe place, low criminal influence as well, so we won't necessarily be stepping on
Alright.
too many toes.
I was outvoted 3-1. That's fine. We're in Coleridge. It's cool.
It's not so far. You can still make it to Crowsfoot.
I don't mind. Yeah.
Finally figured out that I can just put you guys up here. I don't have to keep monkeying around with moving stuff around. Here we go.
There are only 3 bridges into Coleridge, and 2 of them come from Night Market, or 4, and 1 of them goes to the prison. So
So again, we don't have to
Oh,
go
there's more
far.
than that.
Easy for you to get there.
Right.
There's
So,
5.
there's 5. I only see 4.
so your hunting grounds.
It's actually 6.
So here's the thing about your hunting.
We have different maps.
So it's Charter Hall, and one of the things about Charter Hall is that the Hive has a lot of influence there. So you got to decide how you want to deal with the Hive and working in their area. So here are your choices right now. You can pay them off, so you can give them 1 coin out of your stash for giving you room to work.
No, fuck that.
You can pay 2 coin as a show of respect, and you'll get +1 status from the Hive. Or you can keep your money and get -1 status. The Hive are basically a guild of legitimate merchants, and they might do some other things on the side.
Merchants.
I mean, it's probably better to have better status with them. I'd be willing to throw in our money on it and then just go make more money.
Throw in both coins.
Why not? Get the +1 status with the merchants. You never know when you're going to need a good merchant. And besides, if this is
What
where
have
we're
merchants
living,
ever done for this city?
Made it.
yeah.
And look at it. Look at it. Look who's in charge of it now. We're not living across the river over there, are we?
So what can we do with what would 2 coins do for us to start with?
Like if we kept it,
Yeah.
It would go towards downtime actions, upgrades eventually, things like that. But you'll also...
That sounds like a good argument for spending it both on the Hive. Because we can make more coins, but we can start off with this reputation.
Right. Start off a little
Pulled
friendly.
all of our money and resources together and just handed them over to the merchants.
No. We didn't hand it over. We paid them for their favor.
We're going to get screwed by them.
No, we won't. It'll be fine. I'll talk to them. It'll be fine.
Fine. We'll bribe them. That's fine.
Spending your coins.
We're ambitious. We're investing.
That's right. It's an investment.
We're gonna be
Don't worry, we're
big.
going to make plenty of money. It'll be fine.
We don't need this. This is nothing.
Yeah. It's a pittance. It's our life savings, but it's a pittance compared to what we'll make
What we're going to have.
in Charter Hall. Look how
Weeks
rich
from
Charter
now.
Hall is.
So
We're fine.
now you got to pick a crew special ability. Again, like the player ones, the first one's a good default if you like that. Otherwise, this is a little more, a way to focus kind of what your crew can do a little more. So right now you guys are shadows so you're daring shadows with a lair and an old watch. You got hunting grounds in Charter Hall, a preference for espionage, and some special ability.
Is everybody else's special abilities like doubled? So like it goes everyone steals to veteran, then it repeats everyone steals to veteran?
No.
No.
Okay. That's just mine. Cool.
Synchronize. We just roll a bunch of sixes. We'll be awesome. Oh, never mind. We
no,
got
you
Mike
are-
in our group. Never mind.
So if it does go, everyone steals to veteran twice.
Okay. I'm going to delete those out.
Well, I think because you can
Let's-
take some of them more.
Oh, I got mine pulled up in my character sheet.
But it doesn't do that. Like in my character sheet, when I bring up shadows, it doesn't have it twice.
Oh, mine's all doubled also. Yeah.
And it's the same.
Man,
for
we're
the
looking at the
equip-
same thing, yeah.
Like the crew upgrades also is doubled. So I think that's a hiccup.
Hmm.
It's probably because of Gusk.
Oh man, Gusk.
So,
Fucking Gusk.
but if you're looking at it in your character sheet, you're seeing it because I'm not seeing
No.
any. I'm using my
No.
character sheet and I don't see.
Well, if I
any
go to
double.
my character sheet and I type in shadows, then I see everything just once.
Right. That's what I did.
Yeah. And you see yours, you just see everything once.
Yep.
Oh, weird.
Gusk is weird.
No,
Oh,
see,
and-
yeah. Look
but we
at-
can delete out the extras. Do you mind if I do it real quick?
Do it.
So yeah. Any particular feelings about this one?
Pack rats would be fun.
Yeah,
that
it's
stuff.
pretty fun. I like second story for our theme.
Yeah.
True.
Sneaking in.
Oh, because we're espionagers.
Yeah.
Slippery seems pretty nice.
Slippery could be good, especially working where we work.
Yeah, getting advantage and then reducing heat more easily.
Yep.
And that's all about stuff that happens after scores, entanglements, and heat.
And everyone steals is always nice because it'd
Super versatile, yeah.
be nice to get some more quick points out there.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think they're great.
All
like
of them,
them
is
all.
that what you're saying? All right.
Yeah, they're all good. Let's
Take
just take
them all.
all of them. And we'll take several veterans to get other ones from other crew.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I don't know. That's tough.
I'd say slippery and everyone steals would be my, and pack rats too.
Yeah.
Would be my.
This is fun, but not necessary. I think
I mean, everyone steals is a good, just sort of general.
I think everyone steals is a better one to get at the start, and then slippery is a better one to get later on.
Right. Like it might be our second one
Yeah,
once we've done some jobs.
right.
But if we are doing espionage, then second story is not a bad one to have too.
True.
I think everyone steals, then second story, then slippery.
That's kind of what I'm thinking too.
Okay, so everyone steals. And then we all add +1 to either
I guess.
Prowl, Finesse, or Tinker.
One of them.
Well, and I think we all get to choose
So each of you will get
separately. Yeah.
whatever you want to add it to. Prowl, Finesse, or Tinker. Yep. All right.
And we do that as like right now, and that's what it is for the whole game, or that okay.
Yep.
I already forgot what it was. What were the
Prowl,
ones?
Finesse, or Tinker. You get next.
Prowl, Finesse, or Tinker. Prowl. Tinker. What the fuck is that?
That's what I do.
Don't worry, it's not a real thing.
It's unlock doors and stuff.
I have
right?
3 dots in Prowl now.
Nice.
All right. So, under crew upgrades, you have 2 that you already are pre-selected. So, because you're shadows, you have a hidden layer and you have training and prowess. And so, what that means is, if you take a downtime action to train prowess, you get extra XP towards upgrading your prowess. You guys also will get 2 additional upgrades, so you'll have 4 total to start with. So the other 2 are, whatever other things you want out of this crew upgrade section. So it could be one of these crew-specific things, which is that gray box, that's shadow-specific stuff, or it could be a general layer training, quality, or cohorts upgrade. And then these will also influence some of the other factions in the city. So there's one of them is going to be a faction helped you get it, and you'll get some extra status. And one faction you screwed over when you got an upgrade. They don't like you because you did it, and you'll get some negative status with them. Find that out once you pick what they are.
I would still say quarters as a suggestion. Just so we've got a safe space. You don't have to stay there, but it'd be a safe place to be. I know Sleepy might sleep around other places, but
Yeah, maybe. I missed the beginning. What are we figuring out?
Your other 2.
I heard the second part.
You get 2 more
So we get
upgrades.
hidden quarters,
So
prowess.
So you started with hidden and prowess, and you can choose quarters as one of yours, which you get living quarters for the crew. Otherwise, you're sleeping out on the street somewhere, wherever you can find, if you don't have quarters in your tower. And we'll see what happens to you.
and what's the stuff under quality? Like quality documents, get your implements.
Yeah. So
Supplies is subterfuge supplies.
things have a
Tools is demolition.
quality rating, and so your items will have quality level, and so that just sort of represents low quality stuff is junk. It's prone to breaking or not working right or things like that. And the better stuff you have, the better it works.
Secure never seems to be a bad thing to have.
Yeah, what's secure more specifically for this?
So you would get locks, alarms, and traps that thwart intruders who are trying to get into your lair if they find it.
Yeah, because right now it's hidden.
Yeah, it's hidden. So
That could be a later upgrade.
disguised, but if somebody finds it,
That's true.
Seemed like a beginning of the game one.
Well, either do the carriage or the boat. We'll get there.
Yeah. I mean, a workshop, thief rigging, some type of quality something, or better training might be good.
Actually, the training is XP bonuses, right?
Yeah, it's downtime. So like right now, if you do downtime to improve your insight, you get +1 XP, I think, once you finish the clock. If you do it in prowess, you get 2 XP when you finish the clock. right now since we have that triggered.
What's personal?
That's your playbook specials.
Interesting.
And if we were going to do one, it might be that personal would be better because it seems a little easier to gain experience and insight, prowess, and resolve. Because we're gaining experience every time we do a desperate action, which we're daring, so it sounds like we will do a lot of those.
And then we'll have a lot of downtime while we recover.
Yeah,
and engaging in our vices.
Yes, exactly.
What's the personal stuff?
The personal stuff is like in your playbook. It's your special abilities.
Your abilities, yeah. Upgrading to get new stuff.
Yeah. So there's basically 4 XP tracks. There's the playbook advancement and then insight, prowess, and resolve. And those all gain experience separately. And when it fills up, you get something. So like when you fill up your playbook experience, which is right below your special abilities, then you get a new special ability.
Yeah.
See.
Yeah, so when you fill up, prowess, insight, or resolve, you get a new dot, something underneath that, and that comes from doing desperate actions. The stuff on your playbook advancement comes from, your specific things of your character. So like, there are things about tribes' heritage backgrounds to struggling with issues from your vice or trauma. So the sort of personal stuff is what advances your playbook and gets you towards getting another one of those special abilities out of your own list.
Yeah, those it looks like those are typically end of session things.
Yeah.
So it looks like 0 to 6 experience depending on kind of how you played.
So if we took the personal upgrade for our hiding place, our lair, that does what to the...
So one of the down, which gets you an additional XP to mark off on that tracker. If you have the training upgrade, you get an additional XP if you do that downtime action. So right now, you guys, if you train in prowess during downtime, you'll get 2 ticks on your prowess bar. Without personal, if you trained personal, you'd get 1 tick. If you add that, you'll get 2.
Mm-hmm.
So it basically doubles the speed of advancement of your personal upgrade track.
And thematically, that means we have like stuff we like there to personally.
Yeah, like things.
Yeah, or right, personal things that make it easier to grow personally. Teddy bears.
Yep.
Johnny, are you muted or no opinions?
No. Weapons.
That's better weapons.
Quality weapons.
Quality weapons. Fair. That's
No,
fair.
I actually don't really have much of an opinion here. I'll go with whatever we decide.
I was thinking supplies, weapons, or an experience bonus thing.
Let's just do the XP bonus thing. We keep coming back to that, so let's just do that one and see where it gets us.
Right, it's not bad.
So
We're
personal
level 0.
Yeah,
there.
yeah, we're level 0. We shouldn't have quality shit yet. We'll get that once we get more coin that we spent.
Yeah,
because we're out.
That's right. Oh, we just paid off the Merchants Guild. Maybe they'll give us stuff.
That's right. The Hive might be like, hey, here's some quality gear or weapons. Here's a quality sniper rifle.
Kill this person for us.
Done.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
So let's see here. Let's see who got you these things.
Oh boy.
This is the fun part. I like it. All right. So who? Let's see. Let's see. What do we like here? I like. Let's see. So many good choices. Helped you get an upgrade. I think. That. The gray cloaks help you get your quarters. So you have +1 status with the gray cloaks. Put this in the notes for now, but we'll have a spot on the next page to do that. And then somebody did not like it. Let's see. Somebody does not like it that you have your little personal training. They're not quite so sure about that. And that would be actually, you know what? I'm going to change that. It's not the gray cloaks. The gray cloaks didn't help you. But lost.
Ooh.
Lost, yeah. The lost help you set up your quarters, or get the stuff you needed for your quarters. And let's see. Who doesn't like? You know what? You have -2 status.
Ooh.
-2. Son of a gun.
They really don't like that you have this stuff. And that
Almost at war.
Yeah, you're close. With let's see, is it going to be this one or this one? It's such an interesting choice here. The city council.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, we don't like them anyways.
Yeah, they don't really like that you
Want to do personal training?
and make it easier for you to screw up their town.
Well, that's exactly what we're going to do.
All right. So, favorite contact.
I mean, it's got to be the tavern owner. I feel like we've been jipping Johnny out of a lot of things already.
Rigby, the tavern owner.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Rigby?
that would definitely be my first choice, but like a deal broker could also be good, or even a collector. Not. I'm nixing the blue coat.
Yeah. We don't need a noble.
Yeah.
Unless we're stealing.
I'm kind of nixing the noble too. Yeah. But I can roll with any other ones.
It's always nice to have a tavern owner.
Is that how we?
I like tavern owners.
Did Rigney bring us together?
Maybe. We all met in a tavern.
And I have a friendly noble already.
There you go. So yeah, we're good.
Okay.
And actually, this works well because the person that's an asshole is a city clerk.
That's awesome. That's perfect.
City council. see, I'm just making notes of this. City Council does not like your personal training. All right, so going with Rigney.
Yeah.
Riggy.
Good old Rigney. All right, let's see. That also has some effect on what's going on here. And it is that what's going on here? What's going on?
And Petra's an asshole. Make sure to write that down.
Sure, I know that.
Yeah, that's a special asshole in the council.
All right, so you are going to get some plus and minus with this as well. So you get +1 status with I don't know what's going on there, but
It's good.
I'm sure it's good.
Not done.
You're just getting started. I know the first espionage we're doing.
What's that?
I know the first espionage
I know who we're hitting. Yep.
We're about to go to
we're
war.
hitting first.
So you get +1 status with the Foghounds.
Foghounds.
That could be good. They might have good
Like a
weapons.
band.
It does. They might be. It might be just a local band that we have +1 status with.
Fog?
Foghat and the Bloodhounds came together.
Yeah, Foghounds.
Great.
Foghounds. How did it go up there? How'd it get up there? My typing moved. +1 status, Foghounds, and you have -1 status with the Billhooks. They don't like
The bill hooks?
Yep, the Billhooks. They're another gang. They don't like your friendship with Rigney for some reason.
Oh,
It's like to be them. Oh, sorry, I added
could
it.
die.
All right, cool. So that's your contact. You got your crew upgrades. All right, that's your crew.
Yeah.
Someday they'll earn a name. Oh wait, they're the Outcasts with a K, right?
No, I mean, are we?
No, we need a better name. We've done the Outcast already.
Yeah.
That'll be our temporary name.
Something along, I'm sure.
I mean,
For the
yeah.
next-
So do we not need? Maybe we don't need a name yet. Maybe we have to earn our name.
We're nameless.
All right, so we're gonna switch over to faction mode.
We're the nameless.
So let's see, what does this do? What's that? Oh, what is all this stuff? Look at all these things. I don't know. I'll put that stuff in later. We'll worry about that later. But we can keep track of your stat.
Faction relationships.
Yeah, faction relationships there. But yeah, basically that's how likely they are to, or kind of, how they feel about you. So basically, what that means is to my status chart here. Come on. So
Ooh.
it's on a scale from basically +3 to -3, which you guys might have seen this. So 0 is neutral. They don't care one way or the other. +1 is helpful. So if it doesn't cause any problems for them, they'll help you out. +2, friendly. If it doesn't create serious problems, they'll help you out. +3, they'll help you even if it's not in their best interest to do so. They also will expect the same from you at each of those tiers. -1 is interfering, so if it's not a big deal, they'll cause you trouble. And they expect you to cause them trouble. -2 is hostile. They'll look for opportunities to hurt you as long as it doesn't create serious problems. And they do take precautions against you because they expect you to do the same to them. -3 is at war. They will go out of their way to hurt you, even if it's not in their best interest. They expect you to do the same. If you're at war with any factions at all, you get +1 heat every time you do a score. You temporarily lose 1 hold, and your PCs. So all of downtime action rather than 2, because part of your downtime is taken up trying not to get killed in the war. You can end it by either eliminating that faction or by negotiating some kind of truce.
Because they'll be at the same stress. Like nobody wants to stay at war.
Right. It's bad for business.
So what I'm hearing is we need to eliminate
Right.
city council, right? Because they're basically at war with.
They're hostile towards you. They don't like
Yeah, right. So we're gonna be at war soon.
Yeah.
Sweet.
They're picking on us because we're low level. That's why they're doing it.
You know, so we just
They don't
need
go
to
after the big
respect.
fish. They come after us.
That's right.
So I'm gonna do a thing here, and then I'll let you guys decide if you want to continue or stop at this point and pick it up on Sunday. All right. So you guys have your characters. You have your crew together. Oh, wait. No, I'll do that later. So what's going on now is there's this kind of situation going on in Crowsfoot. Rorik, who was the ward boss that ran kind of all the criminal operations in Crowsfoot, has been killed. Some people think his second in command, Lista, did it. But whoever did it, she's now in control of his gang. It's an impressive gang, the Crows. They're cutthroats. But it remains to be seen if Lissa can establish dominance over this entire district the way that Rorik did. When he died, the peace that he had brokered between the Red Sashes and the Lamp Blacks fell apart. These two enemy gangs have exploded into open war again on the streets, and people are starting to wonder if this old feud that's kind of taken on new life is going to end in bloodshed. Your crew, since you're around Crowsfoot, you know what's going on. You are poised to maybe profit from all of this, or maybe be swept up in the chaos and destroyed. Who will you side with? Do you have loyal friendships in the mix, or are you just going to stay detached and exploit the situation? We'll find out. So, you are in the office of the Lamp Black's leader, Bazo Baz, overlooking the coal warehouse floor below. So it's a small office, and everything around it seems to have this little fine black dust on it. But the office is actually fairly clean. There's some dust in the corners here and there, but he obviously tries to keep it somewhat respectable. Several of his thugs are hanging about, armed for war, sizing you up. Basso wants your answer. Are you with them? Are you against them? What do you say? Will you side with the Lamp Black? Two. Good luck. It's very sharp. Will you tell him to fuck off? And maybe you're actually here to kill him for the Red Sashes. If so, we'll find out. So he welcomes you in his office. He's got a desk, and he opens a drawer and pulls out 5 shot glasses. And he turns around, makes sure you're not watching, opens a safe that he has on the wall behind him, and pulls out a bottle of whiskey. And this is real stuff. Not the mushroom stuff, not the fake stuff. This is grain whiskey. You can tell by the smell when he uncorks the bottle. And he pours a shot for each one of you, and one for himself. Puts the whiskey back in the safe, locks it up. So
I'd pick it up.
Yeah, I'll drink it.
it's good. It's better than probably anything you've had barred Crowsfoot. So, gentlemen, do you all appear as male?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen, I think you know what I want to know. I'm glad you came to talk with me today. But, we have a little situation here in Crowsfoot, so got to know whether I can count on you or not. And
Oh, it certainly does seem like quite the pickle you gotten yourself in here. What was her name? Lissa?
Yep.
what with Alyssa taking over? Yeah, she doesn't seem to be too keen on you. Why is that?
Well, she's not quite as well. Let's say I haven't got as high an opinion of her as I had of Rorik. Rest his soul.
Well, and of course, hey, I've only been here so long. I'm just kind of wondering, what was it about Rorik that was so mighty and great that this Alyssa doesn't have? Is it her bollocks, or something else, or lack thereof?
He just had a way of making us feel secure that he had our best interests at heart too, and that if we were able to keep the peace, he'd make sure we all benefited from it. I don't know if she's quite got that same will that he had.
Oh,
you don't know if she does, or you know that she doesn't?
I don't know that she does. But I do know that the Red Sashes took the opportunity to declare open war on us again. And we're not going to back down from it. And if she's not going to solve it, then we'll solve it. We'll wipe them out.
You'll lose men.
We will, but not as many as they will.
Yeah, but you'll lose men. How many do you have?
I have enough, but I could always use more. Which is why you're here.
So what exactly are we here for?
Well,
To get involved in your gang war? Is that what I'm hearing?
Saying if you're with me, then I have some things you could do for me. If you're with the Sashes, well, I'll be sorry to hear that.
well, and if we're a bit more on the neutral stance, how would you feel about that?
Well, if you're willing to do some work for me and not them, then you can consider yourselves freelancers, I suppose. And if you're not, if you don't care to get involved, then I hope you keep yourselves out of it. Although if you do work for me, I don't know that the Red Sashes will let you walk freely, if they know.
You don't have to let them know.
They don't know, and if I've heard that you might be skilled at doing things and keeping people unawares, then that's to your benefit and mine. If they don't come after you, then I get to keep you around and have you working for me.
Unofficially.
If that's how you prefer.
I'd rather not get caught up in the war.
Well, and what do you suppose that the crows will feel about this?
Well, I don't know that they want to see this continue for too long, but see what they can do about it.
Aye, well, war is never really good for anyone.
Yeah,
Not until the end.
I guess we'll see if Liz is able to seize control here, or maybe it's time for somebody else to step up.
Make her ask for the truce first.
Perhaps.
So, I don't know quite as much. What is it that the Red Sashes have so much against you?
Well, I mean, we have a long history, and they see this as their turf. We see it as ours. They don't particularly care for their ilk. And you guys would know that the Red Sashes tend to be a little more, they're not upper class, they're not the elite, but they are higher class than the Light Blacks. They have people in the academies, they're sort of this refined swordsmanship school who became Lampblacks were the Lamplighter Guild. They're commoners. So the common folk, the working class tends to see them as heroes, as people standing up against the powers that be. They tend to have a pretty favorable view of them. Whereas the Red Sashes are a little more well connected. So that's kind of what you know. But he continues, and they've taken the lives of a lot of my crew over the years, and it's time we pay him back for that. But of course, I'm not going to ask.
They kill a lot of you. You kill a lot of them. That's already happened. So what caused the peace?
Rorik. He kept us in line, and I was willing to stay in line for him.
And how long has she been in power for now?
Lissa has been in power for, I can tell you, so it's been actually just a few weeks. Things got out of control pretty quickly after she took over. It didn't take long. The Lampbacks and there was uneasy, like, okay, are you gonna start? Are we gonna start? And then they just dove back into this.
So is this a war by choice, or is this a war by consequence of lack of leadership?
It's the void that was left when Rorik died, and the Crow's consolidated power kind of vanished with him. That they, okay, well, now there's this opportunity. Nobody's keeping us in check. Here we go. And that old view is back.
How much fighting have we? I don't want to say witnessed, but is it like murderous gangs killing each other in the streets like daily? Is it?
It hasn't been killings yet. It's been like dust-ups, right? They've been getting in fights. They've been getting in scrapes. Sometimes the blue coats break it up. Sometimes they break it up on their own because they're getting to the point where they might lose somebody, and they haven't got quite to the part of bloodshed yet. They haven't started killing each other openly in the streets, but it might be coming if it continues the way it's going.
What do the Lamplighters use for weapons?
So they typically use let's see. I mean, they're street toughs. They use, they're leg break.
Hmm?
So they're not out shooting people. They're mostly, so far, is fisticuffs, right? They're punching each other, and every once in a while somebody might have a club or some truncheon, some kind of blunt weapon that they're beating up on somebody with. But nobody's been using, as far as you've seen, nobody's been using blades or guns or anything like that. The Red Sashes are generally sword fighters, but they haven't gotten to the point where they're willing to draw and just start stabbing Lampblacks yet.
What swords do they use?
Generally like rapiers, sabers, fencing blades, things like that.
All right, I'm in.
Well, that was quite the conversation we had there. Sleepy, you mean like in like all the way?
No.
Fight with
No. Like whatever jobs he's talking about.
Yeah, like quiet, help him on the side, nobody knows kind of things, right?
But no killing. I mean, we don't know.
No, that's not.
Killing any.
Get into this for that.
Right.
But if they get in the way, it happens.
But no, of course. But I'm not really so keen on getting right in the middle of this. I mean, certainly help. I like helping.
But the Red Sash goes down in just one of those things that happens.
I mean, killing people during a war is no great pleasure.
Well, true, but it isn't our war.
I mean, it depends on how you define pleasure. I mean, there's varying degrees of pleasure.
Would you take your advice again? Murder.
No.
Yeah, sorry.
No.
I mean, just so long as, we are not getting in the middle of this war. I mean, at least as far as the fighting. I mean, helping's one thing.
Oh, of course.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, I'm certainly in then.
That's what we said. We're gonna help out. We're gonna do some jobs.
Okay.
Glad to hear it. Well then, the Sashes have a little bit of a. Well, I've gotten wind of a stash where they're keeping some of their wartime treasury hidden down by the docks. If you can steal it, that'll put a dent in their coffers to be sure. And, it'll help mine out, and it'll help yours as well. From what I hear, it's about 12 coin worth.
Significant.
And there's 4 in it for your crew, if you can get it for me.
Sounds like just the job we need.
It's infinitesimally more than we have right now, so,
I suppose we could take a look into that and see if it's something we can handle.
I feel pretty confident that you'll be able to take care of it for me. All right, well, when you've handled your business, come back and see me here, and we'll settle up.
All right.
All right. Thank you for the whiskey.
Cheers.
Yeah.
And his thugs kind of point the way out and watch you as you go, and he seems to turn back to his reading that he was doing at his desk as you came in. So, up to you guys if you want to. So we can either jump into this score, or we can start with the engagement on Sunday and jump in then. But up to you guys.
This is probably a good spot to stop so we don't go back to 2 a.m.
All right.
Yeah,
you guys,
unfortunately.
There's nodding.
Yeah,
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
all right, so you guys got the location of a place down by the docks that the Red Sashes are keeping a stash from Bazo Baz. And next time, we're going to try to hit it. See if you can steal that money.
All right.
All right, cool. Well, if you were joining us and we're watching this instead of our usual D&D, there'll be some more action next time. But now you got to see kind of the genesis of the crew and the scoundrels who make up this crew, and now we know what they're up to. So next time we'll jump in with some crime. All right.
Sounds good. See you guys next time.
Thanks for watching.
Delivering
We'll
coins
see you at 9 o'clock.
on Sunday.